Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Testing Our Limits Challenge. We're going to start a new run on this one. We lost the last one. We were attacked by a sneaky wolf that I never heard. So anyway, new challenge for the series Testing My Limits comes from a viewer by the name of Castle. And he had proposed this not only to me but also to Toasty Bits, who's actually doing a live stream version of this. And it's basically called Only Fish. And as the name applies, that's basically what it is. You're only allowed to eat fish and only allowed to drink water. So no other beverages, no other food. And we'll go over all the details here in the rules because there's a bit of a custom setup to it. So I'm going to do new, and because the rules have some custom settings, we will do a custom. Now, in the rules, there's no really set for what to play under. But because we're trying to test our limits, we're definitely going to amp up the difficulty, and we're going to do this on Interloper. In the rules, the spawn point is Coastal Highway. We can only eat fish. We can't eat any ruined food. We can only drink water. Toilet water is allowed. You cannot use any teas other than to cure ailments. So sprains, parasites, things like that. We can't use them for a warm-up bonus. The tip-ups are allowed. We can make weapons, but they're only allowed for defense. We can't hunt with them. And what we need to change here is basically the world settings and the predators. So in the I think the environmental settings, we need to set everything to highest level. So wind, aurora, I think high is all we can get. So high, very high. Okay. No on that. So health doesn't change any. We're leaving cabin fever on. I think he had that turned off. And we're also taking away birch bark tea because we can't drink the teas. There's no sense in being able to collect them. The gear stays the same. Now here's where the change is. Wildlife. We want everything on the highest setting. So cougar high is high. All right. Wolf's chance is very high. Timberwolves very high. Deer we leave low. Rabbits we leave low because we can't really hunt them. Bears very high. Moose very high. Can't hunt the moose, but because the moose is kind of territorial and is kind of half predator, half prey. Time to wildlife respawns we will leave on high. And that stays the same. That is the highest we can go. Now, in the original rules, the predator grace period is allowed, but we're playing Interloper, and so it's not allowed. And I think everything else stays the same. So we have higher weather issues and higher predators. And so this is going to be the code for what I'm doing as far as the world setup. So if you want to write that down, pause it. Okay. And Lower Great Bear, confirm. Now, in his challenge, Coastal Highway is the start point. So here's where I'm going to tweak the rules a little bit to add to the level of difficulty to make this more of a testing my limits challenge, because Coastal Highway to me is kind of a fairly easy spawn, especially if fish is our only diet. And in the only fish deal, you're allowed to make like recipes that include fish. So we're eliminating that. We can only eat fish. So that's going to take that away. we took away the grace period, which that was also a custom thing to make it just a little bit harder. We're going to also do a random spawn. So depending on where we go, it might be a little rough going to get to some place where we can fish. Um, Specifically Black Rock. Black Rock would be very interesting because we won't be able to do any fishing there. So we're going to go with Team Mastered on this one. Okay. There was no discussion of feats that I could remember. I was watching Toasty's streams and I looked through his rules and I don't know that I saw anything, but we're not going to take any. So that'll make it easy. So no feats. And no trader. And we will title this correctly with only fish. And we'll get going here. Now with the fishing, there's no restriction on like tip ups, and I'm going to put a 2 tip up limit restriction in along with this because I think you get it. I've seen a lot of people do it where you can get in a fishing hut with 6 tip ups and you're fishing in the fishing hole and you can just you can go crazy with it. So I thought to add to a little bit of the difficulty, we'd have limited number of tip ups. So my idea would be we can have 2 tip ups going at a time, or 1 tip up and me fishing out of the hole, or I can put a tip up in the fishing hole and one outside the fishing huts, something along that line. So I can only do 2 fishing instances at once. So either 2 tip ups or a tip up and me fishing, that kind of setup. We're not supposed to be able to use weapons for anything other than defense, but because we're having to make fishing line and what have you, we're going to have to be allowed to at least hunt rabbits and harvest guts from deer and things like that. As far as like, deer carcasses, I should be able to hunt rabbits for basically hides and guts. And that I just can't eat any of the meat. And then the last part of this, the challenge is supposed to be for 100 days, but because this is supposed to be testing our limits type setup, um, I'm going to do a 30-day max run on this. I don't know if I'm going to live that long because of some of the things I've thrown in here, but let's find out where we start, and I'll discuss one other thing that I changed. And it's kind of a balance. How funny. Coastal Highways was supposed to be the natural challenge, and I went random, and I still ended up there. So how funny is that? Well, we're here. We might as well make the best of it. That's hilarious. So I may not need the other rule change that I was going to make, and that is that Castle had taken sardines off the list of acceptable foods, even though sardines are fish and they are cooked. And the reason I was going to put them in is because of the random spawn. And I thought, well, I'm going to need travel food of some sort. And so I thought, let's add the sardines back in because they are fish. But the sardines are notoriously good at giving you food poisoning. So the risk of using the sardines to travel with would be really risky. So I thought that would be interesting. But so now I think what's going to make this more difficult than anything is just getting established here because we're going to need fishing gear right away. Oh, if you were only fish jerky, we could have you. Right now, we're basically looking for clothing and anything that can help us with creating fishing tackle.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Oh, wow, look at that. Already off to good luck. 32, that's better. And that's even, so, okay. Well, we got rid of one frostbite issue. Midday, too. How lucky. I still find it hilarious that we random spawned into the natural spawn anyway, so. And in good weather. Midday, good weather. Still cold. And we still need to find a pry bar or a hammer
To escape this cold.
so that we can break the ice. Hammer would be preferable, as it's probably the most easiest repairable item we could do. And there's a good spot. There's a good chance to get one here. Just got to find it. If it's on this loot table. My buddies are already howling. So I was putting this together. I was thinking about how much a pain travel would be with this setup.
God, yeah. Freezing.
Because of the fact that normally you would travel and you would pick up food along the way. And, or you'd have like, you know, a couple boxes of crackers or cattails with you. And this isn't going to be that easy. So you're going to have food packed. Oh, look at you. Okay, well. You can already go fishing with that. That's a start. You have to remember to go around these trailers. I forget that there's... Oh, there we go. Sewing kit. Might be able to do something about our hands here soon enough. There's a cloth. All right. You know what? I hate to waste too much time warming up. Let's see if we get a little bit of warmth on us here. All right. I'm just going to warm up just a bit. Because we still don't have any water. I still got to figure out the food situation. We still need matches and a means to start a fire. Because we can't eat
Sure getting cold.
the fish unless it's cooked. So not only is it just fish, but it's got to be cooked fish. I'm going to go over here and check this little cabin in the corner over here.
Oh, so cold.
Maybe we could start rabbits. Would be a good idea. We need oh, should have been more patient. Couldn't see it real well with the grass. Take my rock back though. I did see you. Sorry, buddy. Your guts are mine. I'm going to go ahead and gather up stuff. I don't know that we're going to be able to forge, or if I'm going to forge, even at all. Oh, I'll take more rocks. All right, Astrid, let's go in here and check this out.
I'll take it.
Yes, you will, hon. Yes, you will. What does Zach always say? Everything is coming up Millhouse. In a very funny Simpsons reference. I'm liking it. We're not warm in here either, are we? Are we warm in here? Yeah, just barely. Now, we got a long walk to our next steel. Can we warm up at all? Don't sleep, just pass time. All right. Want to eventually get to Quonset, because I have a feeling that the workbench there might have the possibility that we might find some kind of fishing tackle. There's no predators. Although we're carrying a rabbit. I guess it isn't going to matter whether I'm carrying the rabbit or carrying its guts. It's still going to stink. It's going to draw attention. Where's my other rabbit?
Gotta warm up somehow.
Yeah, I know, Astrid. Did I lose the other rabbit? Apparently so. Guess one better than none. I'm wondering if with the wolves turned up at the very high, are we going to end up like with like a stalker number of wolves? Or how's that going to play out? We're going to find out here really quickly. I see a few on the ice. Oh, don't run. Try not to sprint. Sprinting is only going to make you hungry. Come on. All right. Kind of thinking about.
Warm up soon.
My apologies for interrupting you, Astrid. Was kind of thinking with the fact that we ended up spawning in Coastal Highway, which I was kind of blaming on it might be a little bit of an easier spawn than, say, getting Blackrock or whatever and having to, book it towards someplace to fish, someplace with supplies. Because even going from Blackrock to like Timberwolf Mountain doesn't guarantee I'm going to be able to fish Timberwolf Mountain. You got to be able to get the scrap metal, and I'm not sure if you need tools or not, but you got to make the hooks, you got to make line. Might have been problematic. You might have ended up having to get to Pleasant Valley before getting any place safe enough to fish. Listen for it. Oh, you know what? We're doing a custom run, and I don't know that I turned it off. When I was doing the test setup for this, I remembered and saw, I was like, oh, it leaves the pistol on. So I don't think I turned that off when I was going through the settings. So if we see a pistol, we will just leave it behind because it does us no good. All right. I'm thinking just tanking the cold weather. We need to get someplace to get some toilet water. And I'd like to get to Quonset because that's going to change our stars. No hammer here at the steps. I know that it can show up. Hello.
This is so cold. I just want to lay down for a bit.
In some of these stair steps. I know it can also show up in some of these fishing huts. So I think we're going to go check out. I think we'll just go to this one that I can see off to my left. Maybe the one straight ahead. We'll see what our local authorities have to say about me crossing over here. Deer, that's good. Run blocker. We can't step over a rock, but we can walk over these logs. It's also a good way to find fishing tackle in here. I'm glad we found a pry bar at least. That gives us something. Anything up here? No. I assumed the first couple of days were going to be the
I
roughest.
think I can use this.
For now, we don't have anything but cans to do water, so. Hello, dear. Oh, well, thank you for the reply. So travel is going to be difficult. So here's where my thought process was going earlier with the fact that we went into coastal highway, and I don't know that I articulated this, but because we started here like we were supposed to, and I was trying to add some difficulty to it, maybe we need to force ourselves to not stay here very long. Maybe we need to push ourselves to. Oh, Mr. Wolf is checking me out here. He is all excited about where he smelled me last. Maybe I need to force myself not to stay here for very long. Maybe we need to move about a little bit because moving is also going to be a bit of a challenge because fish is heavy and smelly, and so and without a bow at this point, problematic.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Look, Astrid, it's a rock. Somebody was keeping a rock in the cabinet. Okay. Well, I guess we don't get that fish deal. Let's get over here to these houses so that we can get some water. So if we're going to move about and what have you, we'll leave the sardine rule in as far as that goes. So it's going to be the only food. I could have sworn I heard something in my left ear. Going crazy. I'm going to leave the sardine rule in play. And it's just going to be at discretion. So it's the only travel food we can eat. It is legitimately fish, and I'm not sure what his reasoning behind it, not allowing it. But, it's his rules. But he did give me some leadway when I was talking to him about this to change things up a bit, and this is the thing that I was going to change was to do random spawn, and then to offset that, I needed travel food. So I thought, why not sardines? Because technically they are fish and they are cooked, and they're very risky. So it's not like I'm looking forward to trying to eat them. Okay. Take a look. Hello, potato. There's really not a lot of reason to go through all of this other than I should check it for matches. I think matches can sometimes spawn in these. So if we get any RNG match spawns, that would be nice. That'd be the other thing with moving too. We could definitely use some more matches. But like fishing in PV is not the most convenient place. We'll take that. We're gonna have to start a fire soon. Get some torches and... Is there anything under the bed that I'm missing? No. We definitely need to do some kind of gloves. We haven't found anything yet. Take this socks. Oh, there we go. Toilet bowl fresh. It ain't much, but we'll take it. Plus, we got the weather turned up, so, I mean, clothing's going to start becoming an issue, even in the 30 days. I know, like, 50 days is normally when you really see it, but it will start to get a little worse. And I'm the one who put the cap on the time. If this turns out to be interesting enough that you guys want to see it go beyond 30 days, then you guys can let me know. And then maybe it becomes sort of a stretch type one where we're doing a different test limit series and it dies 10 minutes into the run. We could pick this up as a filler. All right, let's grab what's in here. Oh, wow, we've been lucky with the water. Okay, there's some luck there. Simple tools, at least. Just starting to get dark. Dark enough in here. Hang on to that for now, so we get some old man's beard going. Don't see any hooks there. Anything? Anything?
This'll come in handy.
Finally, gloves. In fact, let's put those on because we're cold in here. Just noticed that. We are literally cold in here. Aw, somebody was having chips in bed.
Wait. I'm so cold. I'm warming up a bit.
Just warm up a little bit here. Oh, looky what we found in the dark. That's going to help us immensely because we need scrap metal to make fishing hooks, and then it also helps us cut the rabbit open. Not that we're worried about losing the meat, but come on, find me some clothes here. I don't know that we're going to stay the night in
Hope
here.
nobody needs this anymore.
I'm afraid of being cold. Oh, that might change our stars. Put that hat on right now, girl. There we go. So now we could cut down these shelves. Empty, empty, empty. Cardboard, cardboard, cardboard. Oh, that's cardboard. I thought that was a container. I'll be taking these Huggies and whatever you got in the register. Well, if we could have oats, that would be great, but food to tease us with later. Okay. Starvation's going to start here really soon. I think we ought to sleep as much as we can while we have calories, and we can regain some amount of health. Won't be much, but... And then we'll start cutting up shells and that. And I'll get this gut down from this rabbit. This is, I think, going to be the stickiest part of all this, is that it's going to take a little bit of doing to get some cured guts going to make line. Like I said, just glad we found the pry bar, because that's going to allow us to fish. The hacksaw isn't going to allow us to fish as easy. So let's do this. How many calories? All right. We could get 8 hours right now. That's not bad. Let's do that. We're not going to get the full setup, but then we'll wake up hopefully a little healed. Go before we get some healing at least. Then we're going to wake up hungry. All right. Middle of the night. Can we... Sorry about it being dark. Can we cut this up? No.
I could eat a horse.
Yeah, I know. And the horse would probably eat you back, too, if it was hungry. How tired are we? See, we're not even tired. I wonder if we should take our... fuss around with doing a fire. Gonna waste matches eventually. Start a fire. We got no tinder. That's fine. We can do a box. You are now tinder. Yeah, you know, we still have water. I know what we can do. Perfect time to harvest this. Seeing how we can't see it.
I need something to eat.
I know it's going to be really hungry for a little while. All right, so we can drop this to cure, drop that to cure. And then, tell you what, go ahead and harvest this. And I think we're wearing everything else. Drop those shoes. We are wearing everything else we have. What else can we do? Yeah, we can drop the rabbit for right now. I was thinking about going to another house, but it isn't going to do us any good if we can't see what's going on. So, get a drink of water, Astrid. Fire barrel. That should be right here. There. Get some more tinder. Okay, good. We're getting close to morning. I'm going to just pass time. Not productive, but I can't do anything unless I can see. All right. Now. This is probably most worthwhile repairing item. Keep trying, Astrid. We got to get it. That's going to give us probably the best heat bonus. Can we do this one? No. You done ruined all our stuff. Let's take this outside. Matches, flare. Anything good? Oh, look what's here, guys. It's the moose. Actually, you know what? I don't mind that being there because he's not going to bother us from this distance, and he's going to keep the wolves away from us. All right, so no hammer. That's one of the hammer spots that I have learned over the deal. So we probably won't have one because the hacksaw was inside. So I'd be surprised. And the deer. I don't think there's any houses that way. So let's go to this house over here. Check this car. There's a bullet. So I'm going to use the moose to my advantage. Stay away from him, but also let him keep the wolves out of the neighborhood.
The cold is making my head feel thick.
I know, Astrid. I know you're cold. Slow down. Look careful. I'll still miss something. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to come over here.
Looks like this has been here a while.
I like that idea too. That's going to guarantee our first match is successful. That'll also give us some torches. Oh, if we could only keep it. That's what we were looking for. Okay, now I feel a whole bunch better. Fish? Do you have a fish? Okay. How about in the oven? You were making a fish before you left. Only been here a few decades. All right, let's see if there's any clothing upstairs. Well, we really don't need to light a fire at this moment. Got enough water. Can't cook anything. All right, is there anything... I don't think we can do this lamppost, can we? No. I know sometimes lamps can be cut down. I know the toasters can be cut down. We can cut down shelving, too, when we get back. I mean, what else we got to do? But we got one piece of scrap metal. Let's go see if we can get us some line going here. We need to get to fishing. We're fighting the clock now. I'm glad I got the one rabbit at this point. Might have to sneak up the hill up there and go
Feel my hands.
get a few more rabbits and what have you. Okay, everything's empty. Let's take a better look here for... Make sure we didn't miss any line. I know every once in a while, like even at like Mystery Lake, you'll get a hook or a line. Oh, we didn't search all these. What were we doing, Astrid? Was hungry in our mind? Did we check over here? Okay, we did. No hooks on the ground. Okay, so workbench, crafting, simple lure. Okay, so we can do 3 hooks on 1 piece of scrap. That's good. Okay.
Man, I could use a drink.
Trying to make sure I ain't missing nothing. One fishing hook would change our stars. Okay. I'm assuming that's going to take at least a day. And that's only one fish. I mean, we could go fishing and that would break immediately. So I'm thinking we may need to go get some more rabbits. I wonder if going to something like Misanthropes, Jackrabbit Island would be worthwhile. I mean, we've got nothing else to do. We'd get more water. We could go beachcombing. That might be our savior, too. Maybe that's a good idea. We don't smell. Let's warm up. Let's do this. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Let's go. Here, let's jump over to this other house. I think we're a little warmer over there. Plus there's these cars. We haven't been in these yet. At this point, if we find sardines, I may roll the dice. Although I haven't made the teas yet. It's so funny to see the moose here.
Starting to feel numb.
There's a battery. Alright, Astrid, let's go in here. We'll warm up. And we'll head over to Misanthropes. We need to get some more fishing stuff. But let's do this here. This will give us some more hooks. Yeah, I think beachcombing is going to be our savior here at this point. If we could find one fish, cook it up, that would give us enough to heal. Here, let's grab this. Can we try this again? Apparently not. We need to warm up anyway, so let's repair something. Those are items that give us decent warmth. Love to find a coat. Yeah, maybe we'll find something better. That's not going to change a whole lot there. Catch-22 on the fog. Hard to see the predators. Hard to see where you're going in big open spaces. But should mean that it's a little warmer. And as we can see, it is only 2 down. So we'll take the warmth on us. Wolves over there. Maybe we'll get lucky here in the fishing hut. Come on, dear. You're going to act as blocker. Run the other way. Okay, guess not. Now, one thing the hacksaws give us, too, that I hadn't thought about is there will be some deer carcasses floating around. So we could always harvest the guts out of those, too. Which would be helpful. Just kind of cold at the moment to be doing that. Hello, Mr. Bear. Got all the neighborhood out. Ptarmigans. I just heard the noise. I know they're not going to be here. But that might be an interesting an interesting idea. Could always travel to Mystery Lake via ravine and go over and maybe get some ptarmigans and make some insulated layers. Ooh, did I get this? No, I didn't.
My fingers feel numb. Oh, lucky day.
Yeah, it's just a shame you can't have it. Actually, you know what? I'll come back here and go, hey, I hadn't searched that. All right, let's go. We'll go up to Misanthropes and warm up. And then we'll go try that fishing hut in between Misanthropes and Jackrabbit. Should have enough time in the day to warm up. I guess we're not going to lose calories. There's something we're not doing.
Damn, I'm freezing.
Let's go see what the hiker that got attacked by the bear and drugged back to his... if anything, it's a book to burn. Oh, here we go. Don't want to be out here too long. We're losing enough health just from hunger. We don't need the added issue of losing it to the cold as well. And we can get to the point where we're tearing up the shelves and all that stuff, but the toasters and those lamps are so easy to do because it's just a few minutes and we need to warm up anyway. And the fact that we can maybe get lucky and get some peach coming in here. Or lucky in the refrigerator. Come on. We haven't even found sardines. Might even risk the sardines at this point. We haven't even found one yet. Okay, we checked all that. Nothing sitting on the tables. I'm not missing anything important. Except everything I'm not seeing. Scan the room. Actually, you know what? I don't know that the gloves would be better, but no. They'll be good for repairing gloves. Now, the thing that we have really no need for a can opener at all. But we can harvest it for scrap metal. So that's why I'm going to take it.
I'll take it.
Hey, it's our first jacket of sorts.
I think I can use this.
I think you can too. I think you can replace these crappy socks with these crappy socks. And then we can harvest these ones. Seeing how we're still warming up. And then we could repair these ones. And voila. Slightly warmer feet. All right. Well, we did find some clothing. I guess I can't complain. But clothing in Coastal Highway is a little sparse. I do think it's funny that we haven't even found one can of sardines, even though I was going to tempt myself with the use of them. We may never even find any at this point. All right, let's get one more of these real quick. We're actually not that cold. We're one chevron down. Uh-oh. Snowflakes. Run, Astrid, run. Before the blizzard takes us. Cloth is good. No hooks. I was hoping to get some beach coming in. Let's hope this doesn't turn into insta blizzard. Because we should have a little bit right over here. Okay. Nothing looks promising, but hard to tell from a distance. Wood we need. Oh, look. Here's our savior. It's not ruined. Scrap metal for hooks. Hey, here's our tip up. All right, let's get up here. This is kind of why I was headed up here. Oh, this is a tough angle. Oh, right behind him. Let's go inside real quick. Put your rocks away, Astrid. We didn't get him. All right, there's flour here. Take that for a warm-up. Now, if you're wondering why I haven't started cooking the fish, it's because we're going to save it, and we're going to eat it right before we sleep. So we're going to cook it first. But what my hope is that we can go over to this other fishing hut on the other side of Jackrabbit. And there's some beach coming close by. We can start the fish there. Build our fire there. Sports Fest doesn't do us much good.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
I agree. Oh. Something tells me I missed a cooking pot somewhere. Something tells me. We check all these. Empty, empty, empty. Okay. Right. Weather is starting to turn a little more. Keep picking up sticks. So we can have a fire. Alright, let's go see what we can find. Oh, I wanted you, rabbit. Alright, let's try this again. I dropped the fish. Oh, we hit his feet. No, we did. Alright. I'd be a little more worried about it if we hadn't have found the fish. I think the fish is going to buy us a day at the very minimum. Alright, let's go check and see what we got over here. Scrap wood is actually a benefit right now. It's going to give us tip-ups. And we're allowed to. We'll eventually get those rabbits, though. More worried about the weather right now, in case it turns. Gonna lose out on the beachcombing we have, and I'm not gonna be able to cook this fish, so at least at this point, hopefully I could find my way back over here. So I should have made some lines follow. Good selection of wood. Alright, let's get this fish going. Get tired too. Ammo. Oh, there wasn't enough lamp oil for that. So, okay, dumb question. Can we craft a torch? We can. So, not enough lamp oil to start the fire. But we can do this, which takes a few minutes, and now we have something to light the fire with and fail a few times and not waste any more matches than we have to.
Perfect.
Save the reclaim. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. All right. I'm going to go check over here real quick. All right, I see a couple of things here. It looks like wood mostly, but wood, birch. Stick. Well, that would make it fun, wouldn't it? All right. That'd be worthwhile to hit to the fishing cabins over there and sleep there. You haven't searched this place, Hazard? What the heck? That's a horrible torch, Hazard. One more. Something tells me we'll be back over here. I'm thinking this fishing hut and the one in between the two cabins is probably going to be my more favored space. You can always use the workbench that's over here. How we doing, fish? I'd like to go. $749 calories. It's a start. All right, this is mainly to warm up here. Whoops. I pulled that off the water. Let's try that again. Oh, that wasn't a very long storm at all. All right, Astrid, grab a torch and let's take it with us. I don't know what it is about fire, but fire is definitely causing some frame rate issues when I'm playing. I notice if I get more than one fire having to draw in, it definitely taxes the system. Okay, this will be interesting to see here because this is going to kind of play into the whole starvation thing. Now, one fish turned it around. Check out that fishing hut too. We haven't had any luck yet with it, but finding fishing hooks in the fishing huts is not totally uncommon. Interloper's a little different than the other ones. Oh, looky what we found.
Oh, lucky day.
I agree, Astrid. That is a lucky day. Oh, look what I found here. Exactly what we were talking about. There's a hook. And a dog. Hi, doggy. Torch is almost ready to go out. I don't know if I can switch it fast enough. Oh, no. I didn't. No worries. I think we're just going to sleep here. Hey,
This'll come in handy.
maybe. They're not the best shoes in the world, but if they are warmer, which they are, tell you what, maybe we'll harvest those when it gets dark or in the morning when we wake up. Okay, we checked that. I'm curious to see how much healing we get out of this. Okay. We are tired enough. Actually, you know what? Get a sip of water so I don't accidentally. How much time to harvest that? Go ahead and harvest that. I'd like to get fully exhausted and then get to where we can wake up in the morning. What else we got going on here? Make this. Then we can get rid of the... We can drop that. Use some more bandages. Don't need that. We can make another torch. Okay. I like that idea. Let's make those. Can't use them unless we get sick, but can't use them for that unless they're ready. Okay. I think we are tired enough. Let's eat our fish. Hopefully this will give us enough to do a full sleep. Absolutely. 9 hours. Go, Astrid, go. Power sleep. And there we go. We did heal. So we've bought ourselves a little more time. And not that I like to leave it in the dark. But I think we're going to end it there at that save point. We'll do the rest of the houses here close by. We need to get some more fishing tackle going. We've got one gut down. We need to go over and do a little better job of hunting the rabbits and get some more guts down and start getting the fishing tackle going and see if we can't turn the corner here. Finding the fish has really kind of saved us a little bit. We probably would have started having a little bit of a difficulty without that, but finding the fish helped. So let's see if we can turn this the rest of the corner and turn this into a little easier run, and then we'll figure out how we're going to travel, because I think that's going to be interesting because fish weighs a lot and it's smelly and we don't have any way to defend ourselves just yet. Although we could go forage, so maybe we go to Desolation Point. We're close. We can fish there. Choices, decisions. Anyway, we'll do all that later. Thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.